Asanzuri! I'm Maeve De Voe and I am in a singing competition. This competition is online on YouTube with P3 shows called Next Top Singer 2022. I'm competing in their 9th season and it's actually pretty popular on YouTube. Here's a little rundown of what it's like to be in the competition.
Welcome to Next Top Singer Season 9. Another exciting competition awaits with challenging themes, talented singers, and crazy judges. In this first wave of casting episodes, the judges are judging the first 50 auditions. If you make it through, you will be competing with different themes in each round and collaborate with other singers. Our winner leaves this competition with the coveted title and the $200 prize.
So basically, 130 plus people auditioned. The judges had to sit and listen and go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no to see if they'll move on to even be considered for a top 20. And then from there, all those people will be cut or moved to the top 20. I myself auditioned with an original song, which I'm only gonna play a little bit. If you wanna listen to a lot more of it, you can go to the link below and watch the entire audition. You were only allowed to submit, I think, a minute. The judges listened to my audition and I passed. Here was my score and my audition.
Try to keep up, match my energy. Will you be the one or be a memory? Will you be known for centuries? I wanna find out who the right one is for me.
If you liked the song, it'll be released sometime soon. I don't know when. It's honestly one of my favorite original songs I've made. When you pass on, you can see the judges' notes and they write specific things just for you and your set song that you sang. Sometimes when deliberating, the judges will talk about your audition and sometimes they won't. They'll just give you a score. My audition take made it to the next round. For that round, you had to sing early 2000s or 70s. The song I chose for the next round was Big Time by Rick James.
I want it to be on a stage where bright lights shine on me. At Carnegie, polished up my act, knew the crowd would see I had the knack, and that's a fact. Glamour and fame wasn't much more than a crazy game I had to play. Now I got my wish, I don't know if I can handle it, but I think I'm gonna win. I'm with the big time, big time.
I was gonna keep it a secret, but since this all happened, I can't. So yes, I've done a cover of Big Time by Rick James, and I do have the full version. I submitted a 1 minute and 30-second MP3 and it was so good. It was so good. I was so proud of how everything sounded, how it turned out. I worked so hard on that entry in that song. So it's just so good. You have to go listen to it because I'm not gonna play the full thing on here. It's a secret, okay? I only submitted that much for the competition. I was gonna keep that whole song an entire secret for months and months and months. So if you would like to watch the entire episode, which I think is 20 minutes, all of them are linked below. There's so many people that sing fantastically in this competition. I'm a little bit nervous. So my entry for round 2 was fantastic. It was so awesome, but there's a little bit of an issue. Thing is, I was researching to see if Big Time was released in the 70s. All I could find online was that it was released in 1980. I talked to my mom and we both were like, no, this is 70s. This is 70s, but all I could find online was that it was 80. So what I did was I wrote that it was written/produced in 1979 and then it was released in 1980, so it was technically a 70s song. If you listen to it, it's 70s all day long. And so I was so shocked. Even one of the judges were shocked that it wasn't 1970s. So I kind of broke the rules. It was a complete accident that I broke the rules though. So let's see what happens whenever they're judging my entry to see if I'll make it into the next round.
Hey guys, you gotta explain yourselves on Maeve, because for one thing she didn't follow the theme, so how can she win best performance in an 2010s and 70s round?
Doesn't follow the theme.
Her song was from 1980.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Rick James is 1980. Jeez. I suppose I wasn't born then.
I mean, she wrote that the song was written in the 1799, but the theme description said it has to be released in the 1980s. So it doesn't really make sense for her to get best performance. I know it's a technicality, but I mean, you have to follow the theme, otherwise what's the point with the themes?
Yeah, it was just I really enjoyed it because you could tell she was genuinely having fun with it. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
The mix was good, the vocals were good, the backgrounds were good. Like, the only negative thing I had about it was that you could hear her mic peaking a little bit, but like that was me like really nitpicking. I still took points off for it not being in the theme technically, but I still thought, like, in terms of the actual performance, I think hers was the best one.
Yeah, well, I deducted 1 point for the theme not being followed, but I think she had incredible energy in this, but there was noticeable autotune in this still, but she knows how to mix, and that's always a positive. She has power behind her voice, but I want some finesse too, and she didn't really have that in this performance, so I gave this a 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's an 8 from me, and I haven't given an 8 all competition yet, and we did manage to get 2 in the end, but yeah, my highest score out of everything we've done so far. For me, it's the confidence and the swagger. It's not... You get plenty of people who are great singers that come through this that just don't really have that kind of X factor about them. I know I'm borrowing the lame reality TV show from the UK talking about X Factor, but it has a lot to do with it in that you've got some ability. You've also got the ability to like own a stage if you're performing live or something like that, and that to me is a big thing. It's like the extra, and then you've also got people who again have got great voices, but they just don't get that right. They go way over the top, and I think we'll talk about a few of those later on as well. This is the right balance to me. It's someone that clearly is an artist and is very sellable. Like, this displays something that you could quite happily like package up and sell. There are a few technicals which I noted down, which is why we're not talking 10 all day. Yeah, I guess the production may cover up a few sins here and there, which is, I guess, standard, and that's part of the point, but I think I can forgive a few issues there for just a very well-rounded and entertaining performance.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you that she is a very clear artist and everything.
Maeve's like energy and like the whole kind of mix and performance as a whole, I did like better.
Just because something is technically the best, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the most entertaining out of the bunch. It's how that factors in the decision making. And I think I will tend to lean towards one that entertains me and is technically very good rather than something that's technically perfect but lacks a little bit of the performance. That's just personal. I guess that's why we have 3 judges.
Yeah, okay. Since we already had a majority for best performance, I actually have to check the rules first to make sure it's actually not forbidden in the rules that an entry that doesn't follow the theme can win best performance, because I have already written to the contestants that you can't win best performance if you don't follow the theme. Okay, but then I gotta ask, how many points did you drop for not following the theme, Mark?
Can't say I noticed it wasn't on the theme. Felt very 70s to me. Okay, well, if I do that, that still puts me on 7, which is tied with Eden and 1.5 point ahead of Mocha, and my vote would still be the same.
And how many points did you drop, Kelsey?
I dropped a whole point. I probably would have given a 10 if it were on theme. I think stylistically she executed really well the point that she was trying to get across.
Okay, so Maeve wins best performance even though she didn't follow the theme. That's interesting, but okay, I can't do anything against the majority, so. And I guess the rules don't technically say that you can't win best performance if you don't follow the theme, even though you are judged on how well you fit the theme.
Well, as soon as I saw Rick James, I'm thinking 70.
So
that's
moving
my,
on. What?
As soon as I saw Rick James, I'm thinking, oh, it's 70. Like, that's just kind of where my head went.
Yeah.
Even though my song was just barely off the edge of 70s, I got best performance for round 2. Yay! And on top of that, the judge named Mark, which is a lot more strict with his judging and a lot more on the Simon Cowell side, he gave me his highest score. Me being in the competition before, I know how strict he is. So to hear him say all that sweet stuff about like how I have the it factor and stuff is just so sweet. It's so cool, especially hearing it from someone who's way more critical with his critiques. Around this time last year, I was prepping for my release of my 2 singles, I'm Different and Soy Diferente, which rocked my entire world. It was my first time ever releasing a single to the public with iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, all of that. So my head was entirely on that. This year, I am working on a ton of things, but my brain is not so focused on one release. When I tell you I was shocked hearing them bring up my name first in the deliberation video, because last year I was barely talked about. And so this year to have my name just right off the bat spoken about, it's just like, huh? Even though I got such sweet feedback, I was still pretty nervous and butterflies in my tummy whenever the video came out for who's gonna get cut and who's gonna go on. Here's the video of round 2 results.
The judges have deliberated, and they have reached a decision. It's time to reveal who will go on to this year's very exciting group round. A lot of hard decisions had to be made this round. With so many contestants and so few spots in the top 20, a lot of amazing singers will have to be eliminated today. Each of you is talented, so no matter what happens, never be discouraged. That said, the best performance of the round goes to Maeve.
Big time, and I know success is all mine.
Congratulations! Since next round is a group round, you have won the extra day for your entire group. The rest will be called in no particular order.
I was so happy. I was so happy to see that I was the winner. Next up is round 3. Round 3 is a group round with the theme of a movie song. And a sweet guy named Eden came up to me even before round 3 started, or was being announced to start, and said, do you want to be in a group with myself and another person named Mocha in the competition? And I said yes. They're so sweet and they're such amazing singers. Please go listen to them in the competition linked below. They're so amazing. I truly hope that them and I get in the top 3 for the entire competition together. Funny thing, so Mocha, Eden, and I were all in a group together before we even saw who was contending for best performance. And it turns out all 3 of us were contending for the best performance of that round. But I hope that you follow this competition and keep up and see if I will win. But I hope you have an amazing day, night, wherever you are in the world. Asanzuri. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a new place to film. Oh my gosh, it's just the coolest. Dude. So this will be where I film most of my YouTube videos now. But anyways, Asanzuri. You got a double Asanzuri.